We are giving you updates on some upcoming trials, like in Florida, where the trial against Tracy Ferriter, who was charged with aggravated child abuse, false imprisonment, and neglect of a child. Her trial is upcoming, and this is an accusation that dates back to December of 2021.
That's right, Julia. The prosecutors say that Tracy and her husband, Tim Ferriter, locked their adopted son in an 8x8 box in their garage for hours in the dark as a form of discipline.
Now, Tim Ferriter was found guilty in October of last year on these same charges that his wife is facing. Their trials were together, but now they are severed. He was later sentenced to 5 years in state prison and 5 years probation.
And during Tim's trial last year, audio of Tracy reprimanding their adopted son was played for the court to show the jury the various forms of verbal abuse that the child experienced as well.
Do you have pajamas? Are those them right there? Do you hear me? Oh, here we go. Back to this where you can't talk. You're a middle school boy. You want to do all these things. You want to do chess. You want to do things. But you can't talk because you got caught being dishonest. Okay. Well, that's fine. Guess I'll just keep giving you more chances. Every day, a new chance for even though doesn't care, he doesn't want to be nice to anyone. Oh, let's let do this. Oh, let's let me bring some food because I think he's gonna have a good night. Oh, let me do everything for okay. Oh, can't talk because he got in trouble because he got caught. It's like, give me a break. Start owning up to what you're doing, and then try to fix the problem, like we keep telling you.
Tracy Ferriter has a tentative trial date of July 12th. Court TV will bring you all of those updates.
That's right. Joining us now to discuss, trial attorney Krista Ramey. All right, Krista, I'll be the first to admit that I really react when I hear that audio when I was watching the trial against Tim Ferriter, because I agreed with the conviction by the jury, and I would suggest that I think based on the evidence, the mother might be convicted. But tell me your thoughts, please.
Well, I agree, and I had mixed feelings when I was watching this because I was wondering about control that he might have, that Tim might have over his wife, right? And how that might, what role that might play into it. But she is really stand by my man, but there also is a sense of her being an active participant in this. She wasn't a bystander. She wasn't just watching this happen to her son. And, she was actually involved with it. She was, right there just ridiculing him for his behavior. They said that he had reactive attachment disorder, which can happen with kids that are adopted and that are struggling with fitting in. And, the way to treat this is not to lock them up. He is having real issues that, therapy would have helped with, right? Maybe taking him to a psychologist and maybe, making sure his pediatrician was aware of things. But instead, the reaction is clear abuse in my mind.
This was a difficult case. I was there on the ground for all of it, for Tim Ferriter's trial, talked to people who were involved in the case. And I gotta say, it was a surprising one. It's one that definitely got the reaction of people who were very upset to even hear that a child was kept in this way, someone who was 14. There were a lot of things that didn't come out in the trial. Things about, to your point, Krista, the actions that they did take, that they did have him evaluated, that they were going to, maybe not consistent therapy sessions, but they did have him going to see different people who would have more knowledge about the potential disorder. And they weren't able to bring out that post all of this, that he is a ward of the state, so to speak, and he has been placed in a facility. That's in court documents, that he's in a facility where he's now restricted in his movements in a certain way. So that's something that, just looking at it from the other side, that the defense has argued we tried everything that we could as far as parents. Now, there were no experts that would come in and agree. Even the defense experts did not say that this was okay, that this was absolutely wrong. But if, for some reason, Tracy Ferriter's team is able to get in more of these details, Krista, do you think that that could in any way impact a jury or at least a judge at sentencing?
Maybe a judge at sentencing. You know, I think that what you have is the difference between what his movements might be restricted by the state now, but he's a ward of the state and he is being treated in a psychiatric or, you know, facility. I would suspect he's in a neuropsychiatric facility, and is being treated in that way. And people are often confined when they have those types of disorders, and you know they are under care of physicians, of real doctors. This is not what they were. They were parents that were reacting. And, you know, making someone go to the bathroom in a bucket locked up in a room is not the same as being restricted in their movements in a psychiatric facility by the state. So I would argue, as a prosecutor at least, that jury should not be allowed to hear it.
There she is. I'm sorry we lost your audio for just a moment, Krista. Let me just say, Julie, I think the other part of this is, obviously, Tracy was there in court every day supporting her husband during his trial, Tim's trial. But we don't know yet if she is going to blame anything on him or in the defense. We just don't know that.
We don't. That is not something that has come out in court documents at all. We know that they've taken a lot of depositions getting ready for this trial, but everything that we've seen is they've presented a united front, but that could change once we have a different attorney's team there representing her.